and being able to see like what is on the other side of your surrender. I think that's Mercury retrograde. I'm really all about us not having to learn the same lessons more times than needed, because what else is out there for us beyond the lessons that we're being stubborn about? Think about that. Hi friends, welcome. Come on in. The water is absolutely fine. We've got a little orange candle because I'm feeling like we really need that like sacral, creative, warm energy tonight. Yeah, and this has been dressed in a hibiscus Venus oil that I brewed for a couple weeks in the sun. Just feels right, doesn't it? I am super excited because we're talking about this last leg of the astrological year and just all of these messages that have been coming through as far as themes of change and clearing things out and moving forward. Is this where we want this? Let's see, let's look back here. I want to talk astrology tonight, but even if you're not like wildly into keeping track of the movements of the planets and everything, I think there's still something here for you, because we are basically talking about cycles. The astrology lately has been very introspective. The astrology lately has been asking us to make room for new growth and to kind of look at our blind spots and things that we kind of clearly need to move through. Clear from a more universal perspective, maybe not super clear to us, because it's hard. It's hard to know what's going well and what's maybe holding you back and what's just become habitual if you're not taking the time to stop and reflect on those things and take inventory of those things. And any system is going to be beneficial for that, but astrology is a great one because you get to reflect on all of these like micro themes within the themes. Like there's Mercury retrograde in Pisces, for example. Let's talk about, we're still going through a Mercury retrograde in Pisces, but I feel like we're in the final stretch. I feel like we've adjusted to the feeling of being in this particular retrograde. Every retrograde is different, and every retrograde is different for everyone because it's reflecting themes for you. I think one common thing is that it's always going to ask you to be patient with something in regards to things moving smoothly in your life. Like there's always going to be, not always, but there's a lot of the times going to be a theme of a message not getting sent that's supposed to be sent, or something not coming through in your emails, or something going wrong with your vehicle, or yada, yada, yada. Like something is going to kind of ask you to be patient and to develop patience and to kind of surrender in a way that like none of us really want to. And the beauty of a Mercury retrograde is that Mercury's energy is kind of being used in a more like underworld way. Mercury is going dark. Mercury is going on a journey that's completely opposite from his normal movement. And you kind of get to realize the beauty of Mercury when he's moving, when he's moving direct, when he is going in the flow that he normally goes and bringing his mercurial blessings in the way that he usually does. It's a great time to kind of reflect on like, oh, I am grateful for the way that things usually go. And if you don't have like a relationship with the planet Mercury or like a mercurial kind of energy, then it can just be as simple as like, I am grateful for when things do work out, when things do go really smoothly and I don't have to worry about like audio getting lost on a video or misplacing something for a week and not being able to find it anywhere. Like it's a nice time to surrender and laugh at yourself and laugh at situations and understand that there is a gift in that. There's a gift in knowing that even when things don't go to plan, that they are still working out on a greater scale, and you still have the ability to just be present and to sit with your emotions that come up and be the comforter to yourself, be the person who makes you laugh, or have someone else in your life who makes you laugh and makes it feel like it's all going to be okay, or provides, a helping hand to you in a moment like that. Being able to ask for help and see who is willing to give you that help. Like it's got a vibe to it. It's got an energy to it. And there is like a light side of the Mercury retrograde lessons, and I hope that everyone found them. That's what we're doing in this video, is we're talking about them. We're talking about the themes that came through and what that looked like on a personal level. So I'm going to speak about my Mercury retrograde. I haven't really thought about it too much. I just kind of started recording. But while I'm talking about my Mercury retrograde, I would love for you to think about yours and what themes came through for you. My taxes didn't come through. I talked to everyone who had already filed, and they were like, yeah, it just took a couple of days and then my taxes were in my account, and that didn't happen for me. I still haven't seen my taxes come through. I was like doing offerings to Mercury, like let's do this, like let's get these taxes coming through. And I was able to be more calm about the situation than I ever would have been, because there were things that I really needed that money for. And instead of getting that money, I talked to people that I love, and they were able to help me out. And it was, I guess, like a check-in for growth, because there's been so many seasons in my life where I would have kind of used that challenge as a point of focus to think about like why things don't work out the way that I want them to. And I would have told myself a lot of stories around why things weren't working out. But this retrograde, I did truly surrender and was just grateful to have people in my life who were able to extend like kindness to me on a level that I didn't know I was even capable of experiencing. So that was one of my huge Mercury retrograde themes. I definitely felt the halting in communication. I always feel like when Mercury is retrograde, I know that at some point in that period, I'm going to start feeling like nothing I'm saying like gets through. And it was very fun to have moments where the communication was like stunted and weird, but we pushed past it. And then we ended up having a conversation that if what I was saying had landed, we wouldn't have had the conversation that we had. And it was by going completely off track, or by not connecting in the way that I was expecting to, and like trying to manifest that kind of communication, it took us in another direction. And again, it's just that surrendering and being able to see like what is on the other side of your surrender. I think that's Mercury retrograde. What were some of your themes? I would love to hear if you feel like sharing, like literally DM me. I hope you'll take a moment to think about some of your Mercury retrograde themes, and they kind of tie into the next retrograde. We're going to have another retrograde here, soon enough. So if you do keep track of the themes that you're learning and catalog them in some way, it is going to be easier to kind of say, oh wait, this is what's happening. This is what happened last time. This is maybe a continuation of Mercury being one of my teachers, and it might be a little smoother for you in the future. Harness those lessons so that you don't have to keep learning them over and over again. I think that's becoming like a huge theme of this channel, is I'm really all about us not having to learn the same lessons more times than needed, because what else is out there for us beyond the lessons that we're being stubborn about? Think about that. We also had eclipse season, and these things overlapped. So eclipse season, I think, started February. I know there was one on like the 17th, another eclipse on March 3rd. Yes, when we had the Virgo full moon. And eclipse season also is a teacher, and it's one of the teachers that doesn't mind humbling you. Like, there are some very kind teachers astrologically and zodiacally who just want to encourage and lift you up. Eclipse season is very much like shaking things up and turning things upside down and kind of showing you where there are blind spots or cobwebs that need to be cleared. And it does feel like a very liminal period, and it happening during Pisces season is so funny too, because Pisces season is already incredibly liminal, and it just feels like it kind of exists a little bit outside of time. Time feels really different. At least for me in Pisces season, we've had Mercury in the sign of Pisces. Like, it's just been very fluid and a little abstract and definitely poetic. So I'm sure some of these themes were poetic for you as well. My eclipse reflections. So there's the eclipse dates, and then there's also like the fallout post eclipse. The eclipses happening, from the 17th to the 3rd, and then there's the aftershock period. And it's not kind of until like the next moon cycle, like the next new moon or full moon, which we have a new moon coming up this week. It's not until that next moon cycle that we can kind of fully close the curtain on eclipse season. So we're still in eclipse season, we're still in Mercury retrograde, and we're still in eclipse season. So there might even be more for us to learn. But for me, my eclipse season messages were largely around protecting my energy, protecting my literal being. It was just something that the subtler energies at play here kind of kept pointing me towards, that I am getting more sensitive as a spiritualist, and I therefore have to be more diligent with my protection work. So I did a lot of protection work, and I looked at things that have been kind of left unchecked for years. Like I've had things that I knew that I needed to work on protection wise for years. Like deep down I knew like I have to face this head on and figure out what protection work would look like. But I was just more so inclined and aware of just kind of distracting myself from the fact that I had maybe left some doors open that needed to be closed, and just kind of cleansed. So it was a lot of energetic protection work, which was a very interesting theme. And the night of March 3rd with the Virgo full moon, the Virgo lunar eclipse, I had an incredibly tangible experience with my protection work, and it felt like a very clear eclipse season theme. I've also had a lot of dreams, and I've just felt like my intuition and I are coming into this greater harmony where I'm able to respond to my intuition more quickly. And I think it's the same idea. The more in tune with your intuition you are, the more you need your skills to rise rapidly. Being an intuitive person who trusts your intuition and stands by your intuition and doesn't let other people influence the way that you interpret it, doesn't let the difficulty of what is being told to you or asked of you kind of diffuse the reality and relevance of your intuition, to stand on it, to really say I dreamt this means this to me, this is the sign that I'm getting. You have to be able to have a lot of backbone, I feel, to listen to your intuition. So I've been definitely on this journey with my intuition and strengthening my skills around harnessing it, because it's not just I'm psychic and I have to be willing to intuit and then act like I got the message that I got. And if not, then you create a rift between yourself and your intuition. So that's been a huge theme as well. And I've had a lot of dreams that communicated things to me very clearly, and I have to stand on it and run with it and be okay, that was the message that I was getting. I'm looking for messages. I'm open to messages. And so when I get one, I have to act like it and be honest to it. So I've been strengthening that muscle with eclipse season. And those two things, the protective work and my intuition, feel very highly related. And I won't try to draw those things together for you. Maybe it makes sense already, but what were some of your eclipse season themes? Think about if you have any journal entries or photos that you took on the 17th or March 3rd, and anything around those dates. If anything comes up, it's the same idea with Mercury retrograde. If you pay attention to the messages that come through, when the moon and the sun are trying to teach you things, they're trying to show you things, they're trying to help you understand your path on this earth. And that may sound very woo-woo, but these energies are so constant in our life. And when they shift on this level, going completely dark from the sky, what is felt and the way that reverberates to us here is very powerful. And if you're able to value that and look at that, there are certainly messages that you can take with you to help you grow as a person and to be more aligned. Okay, so we've talked about eclipse season, we've talked about Mercury retrograde, we've talked a little bit about Pisces energy. This is where we've been. Let's talk about where we're going this week. So we have a new moon happening, a new moon in Pisces happening on the 18th. This is an amazing transit to be happening right now. Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac wheel. It's all about that final leg of transformation. Like Pisces is like the last barrier between like the great beyond, between like being absorbed back into like the oneness of death. It's a great time to have these chapters end for almost like a tower moment. It is definitely a signal of completion, and the new moons are also all about planting seeds. So we have these beautiful things working at the same time. We have things kind of eroding and breaking down and being let go of. I've been really into the analogy of like having a funeral for versions of yourself or relationships or parts of you that are just not as necessary to be present. Whatever you have been trying to let go of, this Pisces new moon is a beautiful funeral, a beautiful grieving moment where you can pay your respect to what that version of you meant to you, what that situation meant to you, what that relationship meant to you, what those opportunities meant to you. You've certainly outgrown a lot of those things, but I think it is very human and very beautiful to want to take a moment to remember why those things were special and to say thank you. I would like more opportunities to grow. I want more of this. Open yourself up to what can come in from planting the seeds, on the other hand, after the grieving, planting the seeds of what you are ready to align with, what you're ready to call in, and what feels like it's meant for you. Again, like your intuition is so incredible here because of course we have to stay open to fate and we have to stay open to, you know, the greater picture. We're not the only human beings on earth. We can't just like get exactly what we want and have it fall into our laps. We have to deal with the weather of the world, and I think it is a beautiful thing to just not know and to just kind of hold space and be in this like liminal gray area. But I know that your intuition is speaking to you about certain things, and that there are certain journeys that you're meant to go on and certain places that you're meant to see, creative endeavors and business endeavors, and a deepening of your own self-love, a deepening of your health practices, a deepening of your learning, a deepening of your relational work. Those things are all calling to you, and this is a great time to say, hey, I might not have all of the skills in the world to know exactly how to take the steps towards these things today, but this is what I'm after. This is what I'm aligning with, and day by day, I'm going to keep coming back to these seeds that I planted, and I'm going to check for growth and make sure that they're warm enough and that they're still alive. And you know, it's also like the springtime metaphor. We're about to go into Aries season. We have the spring equinox coming up, and it's a really great time to just like pick out your seeds and begin planting them. And then on the 20th, we have the spring equinox. We're welcoming spring, and we also have the start of Aries season. So it's the new year, the astrological new year. So you can treat it like you normally treat January, where you're recommitting to your goals, committing to your goals for the first time, and really just kind of making it clear that there are certain things that you're after, and trust and believe that Aries season will bring you the energy and enthusiasm. It might actually be very overwhelming, and I would say really ease into it. Get into that like hot water nice and slow because you're gonna be feeling it. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be invigorating. You're gonna be moving, and the things that you thought you wouldn't be able to let go of and thought that you needed to hold on to, if you do make the effort to grieve them properly and move forward, you're going to be feeling lighthearted, joyful motivation in ways that you haven't probably been able to conceptualize as easily during Pisces season. So this is the beginning of a whole new chapter. That's why I kind of wanted to really talk about this in this video, because we're doing the last little bit of spring cleaning to prep for this new year. these new opportunities that want to come to you. This is a great time for actual spring cleaning. This is a great time to be like, what have I wanted to do? What spells have I wanted to do? What projects have I wanted to take on? What would my ideal life look like? What does my ideal life feel like? How do I align more with what I am yearning for and romanticizing? This is a great time to make that more of a reality and to harness these energies. You don't have to do it now, but it will be really beautiful if you can and if you work with the flow of what's happening right now. So wishing you guys all the best. Thank you for reflecting on my eclipse season and Mercury retrograde with me, and I hope you were able to reflect on yours too. Get excited, start planning things. This is a great time to do like crossing work, to do road opening work, to do cord cuttings, energetically cleanse your space, physically cleanse your space, physically cleanse yourself, to continually imagine the version of yourself that you're trying to link up with and know that that's already you. You already have that within you. All you have to do is match your actions to that image and walk it like you talk it. So thanks for watching and best of luck. Rooting for you as always. Mwah. Bye.